The highlights of today's defense news, 30th of June 25. Mazagon Docks acquires Sri Lankan shipyard for 452 crore rupees. India to fast-track launch of 52 defense surveillance satellites. TPG-owned digital engineering company Altimetrik to acquire SLK Software for $600 million. Induction of the 5th 25T Bollard pull tug OJAS. DRDO invites bids for mobile launcher system development for M2 and M3 Interceptors under Project Kusha. Colorado's Radia seeks Indian suppliers for Windrunner, which is the world's first winged aircraft. In the war zone, Iran seeks to acquire Chinese J-10C fighter jets to counter Israeli F-35I superiority. In the global highlights, France's Thales and Norway's Kongsberg Inc. communications joint venture. In the DARPA news, evade DARPA pivots shipboard drone program to rapidly field technology later this year. Wavefront and Mars and Forcys integrate mobile C2 sensor systems for infrastructure protection. Hensoldt Indra build first ECRS Mk Step 1 Eurofighter radars for Germany and Spain. Patria successfully conducts test firings of new R mobile field gun. Finland selects ICE to strengthen space-based intelligence and surveillance capabilities. Germany seeks Israeli partnership on cyber defense, plans Cyber Dome. A look at the news in detail. First, some industry news. Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders picked its first international acquisition with a controlling stake of Colombo Dockyard plc in an all-cash deal capped at 452 crore rupees. The acquisition will strengthen Mazagon's position in the ship repair and shipbuilding industry by unlocking operational synergies, enhancing research development capacities, and expanding market research. The deal is expected to be completed within 4 to 6 months, with the acquisition being the first instance of an Indian shipyard, both state-owned and private, acquiring a shipyard overseas. Colombo Dockyard is a publicly listed company in Sri Lanka. It is engaged in the business of shipbuilding and ship repair for over 50 years. Colombo Dockyard has been around since 1974 and specializes in manufacturing offshore support vessels, cable-laying ships, tankers, and petrol boats for several countries including Japan, Norway, France, UAE, India, and several other African nations. It is the only shipyard in Sri Lanka that offers services ranging from in-house design and construction to advanced repair and marine steel fabrication. India plans to fast-track the launch of 52 dedicated satellites for the armed forces. It is also in the process of finalizing a comprehensive military space doctrine. Phase 3 of Space-Based Surveillance (SBS) program, which was approved by the Cabinet Committee on Security in October last year at a cost of 26,968 crore rupees, involves the construction and launch of 21 satellites by ISRO and 31 by 3 private companies. The first of these satellites is to be launched by April next year, with all 52 to be deployed before 2029 as part of the project being spearheaded by Defense Space Agency under the Integrated Defense Staff. Work is underway to compress these timelines to launch the satellites faster into the low Earth orbit and geostationary orbit. The 3 private companies that have got the contracts have been told to speed up building of the satellites. The names of the 3 private companies selected to build 31 satellites under SBS Phase 3 program have not been officially disclosed due to the sensitive nature of the project. All 3 firms are based in South Indian states. One company is tasked to produce 15 satellites, while the other 2 will build 8 each. These firms are expected to deliver within 4 years of contract signing. Parallelly, Indian Air Force is pursuing the case of 3 high-altitude platform systems, which are basically unmanned aerial vehicles or pseudo-satellites that operate in the stratosphere for long durations on ISR missions. Now some news from the Indian Navy. Induction ceremony for 5th 25T Bollard Pull Tug OJAS was held on 27th of June at Naval Dockyard, Visakhapatnam. This tug is a part of the contract for construction of 6 25T BP tugs concluded with Titagad Rail Systems Kolkata on 12th of November 21. These tugs are utilized by Indian Navy to provide assistance to naval ships and submarines during berthing, unberthing and maneuvering in confined waters. These tugs will provide afloat firefighting support to ships alongside or at anchorage and also have the capability to conduct limited search and rescue operations. Some opportunity from DRDO. DRDO has officially invited bids for the development of a mobile launcher system tailored for the M2 and M3 interceptor missiles under Project Kusha, a major indigenous air defense initiative. Project Kusha, also known as the Extended Range Air Defense System (ERADS), aims to bridge the capability between MR SAM 80 km and the Russian S-400 400 km system. The M2 interceptor has a range of 250 km, while the M3 is designed for 350 to 400 km. Both are intended to counter advanced threats like stealth aircraft, drones, cruise missiles, and even anti-ship ballistic missiles. The mobile launcher system is critical for rapid deployment and operational flexibility, especially in high-threat environments. News from the war zone. According to information published by several Arabic media outlets on 27th of June, the Iranian defense minister recently visited China and initiated high-level discussions to procure Chengdu J-10C multi-role fighter jets and advanced AWACS equipment. The Chengdu J-10C, a 4.5 generation combat aircraft, is one of China's most advanced fighter platforms, featuring AESA radar, thrust vectoring engines, and compatibility with PL-15 long-range air-to-air missiles. Its multi-role capabilities allow it to perform air superiority missions, ground attack operations, and complex electronic warfare tasks. News from the global industry. Thales and Kongsberg Defence and Aerospace have signed an agreement to launch a communications joint venture, with each partner consolidating its current communications business. According to Thales, which already operates a communications business in Norway, new entity is designed to meet the growing connectivity needs of defense forces in Norway, NATO countries and other nations, and is a response to the European Armed Forces call for greater interoperability, sovereignty, and the urgent need for large-scale equipment delivery. Ownership will be split on a 50-50 basis between both parties, with a workforce of 350 personnel spread across Oslo, Trondheim, and Asker, Norway. News from DARPA. An experimental Pentagon program focused on developing shipboard unmanned aerial systems is aiming to transition its technology to the broader Defense Department later this year, following a change of plans centered on more rapidly fielding the drones to service members. The program in question, dubbed Advanced Aircraft Infrastructure Less Launch and Recovery Ancillary, was initiated by DARPA in 2022 and aims to produce a relatively small UAS that can be easily launched and recovered from US warships. The spin-off effort, Early VTOL aircraft demonstration, that is EVADE, focuses on drone designs from 5 different companies: AeroVironment, Griffin Aerospace, Karam Aircraft, Method Aeronautics, and Sikorsky. The 5 missions they must be capable of accomplishing are logistics, communication relay, carrying a weapons payload, carrying a synthetic aperture radar, and intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. In addition to being capable of operating from Navy ships, the UAS also must not exceed 330 pounds or 150 kilograms in weight. That requirement is important because Pentagon policy dictates that a drone's total weight corresponds to the qualifications required by its operator. In general, smaller UAS may be piloted by drone operators, while larger drones require a fully trained pilot. News from UK. UK operating companies Wavefront Systems, Forcys, and Marine Remote Sensing Solutions demonstrated a successful integration of sensors and command and control systems for defending infrastructure against various aerial and maritime threats. Its Sentinel Intruder Detection Sonar (IDS), with its simultaneous in-band active and passive sonar operating at 70 kHz, can detect divers up to 1000 meters and mini submarines up to 1500 meters. Sentinel was designed for cluttered environments such as harbors. It is capable of tracking hundreds of potential and actual threats and coordinating between up to 10 different Sentinel units, either hardwired or through the Forcys and Wavefront's new trailer-based expeditionary unit. Able to integrate with different C2 systems, the Sentinel IDS tracking software was shown displaying tracks both alongside and within Mars NIDAR C2 software. The fiber optic data cable necessary for each Sentinel sonar head can only reach up to 2,500 meters. The 35 kilos 43 by 33 centimeters heads to 200 W power requirement means that batteries would not last long, meaning operations such as protecting undersea cables are currently only in the concept phase. A solar powered buoy wouldn't provide enough power, but work on a possible wave powered buoy is ongoing. News from Germany. Germany is aiming to establish a joint German-Israeli cyber research center and deepen collaboration between the two countries' intelligence and security agencies. Germany is among Israel's closest allies in Europe, and Berlin has increasingly looked to draw upon Israel's defense expertise as it boosts its military capabilities and contributions to NATO in the face of perceived growing threats from Russia and China. That's all the news for today. We hope you enjoyed the news. Please do subscribe to our channel and do give us your feedback. Thank you.